What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm trying to get everybody that's already on the other side back on over here to the new one. I've been having technical difficulties with this thing, but y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So I'm sending people over to telling people from the other one to come on over here because there's been hitting out duplicates. So hopefully everybody will make their way over here. And it's should be 17 right now. I know y'all y'all was talking noise on the other channel on the other one. So hey, go on and bring that noise talk that noise on over here. Y'all come on over here and talk that noise. And I apologize for the late start. That's y'all know that's not me. So I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all over here. So y'all have to excuse me. Like I said, y'all have to excuse me. It was got basically just it's been copying, so but how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? So how's everybody doing tonight? Make sure everybody come in, like your feet, wipe your feet, and like the stream. So if you joining in off of Twitter, I'm gonna go ahead and send that message over here to Twitter right now, so that way y'all can know what's up. See what y'all. You said been drinking that ginger ale. You said been drinking that ginger ale on them boys. What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, you correct. You correct. You correct. Patrick, man, no doubt, man. Look, what's good, man? What's good? I'm over here in Irving right now, man. I'm over here in Irving, and we got Miss Ty, Alabama A&M, always tuning in. Always she tuning in tonight. Mr. Quay, how you doing? Go ahead and send that. Go ahead and send the link to everybody because I've been having technical difficulties with this thing. It was one of them days where I was like, you know what, I really didn't want to do too much of anything, but I was like, no, we're gonna do something. But yes, sir. So as we getting all the people up in here, as we getting the family up in here, I just want to remind people, if you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like the stream, make sure that you comment, share, most of all subscribe, hit the notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. This is HBCU Tonight, episode 19. You already know what the title is. We about to have some fun in here tonight. We about to have some fun in here tonight. And if you want to talk all that noise, come on. Come on, Cletus. Come on, Cletus. And you already know what we do after that. After that, we go over to the homies, Ken Clark, Zoe, TD, Nook, and Miss Rochelle. So we'll go over there. We have fun. We listen in. Make sure we get that initiative going and have an interesting Friday, y'all. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, y'all. It is how we do it. This is how we do it. So, oh my goodness. All right. Oh yeah. Coach Simmons on that blue magic tonight. Oh yeah, on that blue magic. They don't know. They tell them they don't know about that blue magic. That blue magic have you up and down. That blue magic have you up and down, y'all. And the missus already telling me trying to get into it. So already telling me it's time. It's time to get going. So when we get up into 50 people, then we gonna get this thing rolling. We gonna get this thing going. Gonna get this thing rolling. We gonna get this thing going. Gonna get this thing rolling. Uh, Now I'll let everybody know next week, next Thursday, I will be in Jackson, and it's not for myself. It's for the stepson. It's for the man child. He is going to orientation at Jackson State University. So we will be there from Thursday to like Sunday morning. Um, Anything after the orientation, we will be pretty much available at the orientation. But from Friday and Saturday morning to the afternoon, orientation is pretty much what we got going on for for him. So um and as you see, we as JSU ready. We as JSU ready. So I know this ain't my frat brother right here. What's going on, man? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep. But anyway, man, we gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. First starting off, we had a little bit of sad news. coming out of our world to yesterday. Um, the great Ray Lewis, the great Ray Lewis that we know, um, linebacker, Baltimore Ravens, um, Miami Hurricanes, Ray Lewis, his son, Ray Lewis the third, aka Ray Ray, passed away at the age of 28. He did play defensive back at excuse me, at Virginia Union University. So, like I said, that was don't know what he died from, but let's go ahead and keep his family in prayer. Um, y'all know the difficulties that he had coming up and with issues, but we're not gonna get into that because the what I'm saying, a family lost a son. I'm sorry, y'all. A family lost a son. A mother lost a son. I mean, of course, Ray lost his son. Ray lost his son. His pretty much like his best friend. That's what I would say. And to have it coming around this weekend, um, Father's Day weekend, it is something that you really don't want to think about. Um, like I said, especially around this weekend. But man, we're gonna keep his thoughts and prayers with the Lewis family, and hopefully they get through all that right there. Um, but that's something that we just gonna have to, something that we just basically just have to pray about it. Um, and too, like we said, we said this before. Get your talk, with your loved ones. Make sure you hug your loved ones. Make sure you console your loved ones. Make sure you get in touch with your loved ones because you never know if you're gonna be back. So, but some other news. Let me see some other news coming out of the HBCU world. Now, yeah, I know this ain't HBCU, but in a sense, this is from with Coach Prime, and I'm gonna just say it just like this. Um, with Deion Sanders, he basically having medical complications in Colorado. The Pretty much the altitude is not helping out his situation, and he might be on the verge of losing his whole foot. So, I mean, like I said, we don't. It's it sucks how he. It sucks how he left out, but in a sense, what I'm saying. In a sense, he's still a man, still a human being, and we just gotta be able to have some sort of compassion when it comes to stuff like that. So, like I said, prayers up to him, like for real, because that's something that you don't really want to. You don't want nothing to happen like that. But if he has to lose it, um, it's an eye opener now. It's an eye opener that he has to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change your whole mindset now. It's an eye opener. So I mean, but here it is though. Is when it comes, I'm gonna tell you just like this, and we all gonna be on big respect, y'all. When it comes to to the game of sport, to the game of football, that yes, what he did was not the best thing for best thing for us. What he did was wrong. Uh, but as a human being, you got to have some sort of compassion. You got to have some sort of empathy because this is a life changing event for him now. Like the first time what happened with him was life changing because he, lost two of his toes. And so we don't want to wish, like I said, don't want to wish bad on the man. But you know what I'm saying? For him being up there and it's vascular. Vascular situations is something that you really don't play with. So we don't play with that. I don't play with it because I have issues with my legs and my feet swelling and stuff like that. But I make sure I take care of myself and take the right stuff. So we just gotta have some sort of grace and mercy when it comes down to actual things that happen to people. Now on the football field, I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. So either way it goes, the man he's still a man, he's still a father, he's still, you know what I'm saying? He's still a son to his mama. He gotta, he the breadwinner. So basically you gotta make sure that he good. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, hopefully that he can get through this complication. And it, like I said, I think I seen it with Todd. If you got to lose the foot, if that's the best option that you have, you know what I'm saying. You just got to go without, and you just have to have now. You got to have a different mindset of how you got to move around now. So that's all I got to say. But man, like I said, prayers to both Prime, and prayers to Ray Lewis on this crazy thing right here. We got a big bulldog and a little big bulldog, little panther in the house. What's up, Jess? Jess from the cliff. Yeah, that's true. Uh, but y'all know, man. Look, y'all can take over. You look. Some other things, man. HBCU Game Day came out with their 2023 HBCU. The staff came up with the FCS and Division II polls. So this is something that we gonna talk about. Oh Lord Jesus, Jess. So what they got coming in is right now at number one is North Carolina Central. Of course, they the defending reigning national champions in black college football. So we can't really leave them off. And then at number two, they got Florida A&M. And we're gonna get on that in a minute. So we're gonna get on that in a minute. Number three, they got Jackson State at number three. Of course, we are the reigning, defending, undisputed SWAC champs, but we lost the Celebration Bowl again. Hopefully that don't even fly this season. All right. Number four is Southern. First of all, I'm trying to figure out who the hell Southern got as their quarterback. I want to know who they got as their quarterback. Boy, they Dooley is tight-lipped on who he naming as his QB. We don't know what's going on. we don't want to. We try to figure out what's up because I got to get some kind of feedback, some game feed because I don't know what's up. Number five is Howard. Howard like I said, Howard coming in, uh, getting the share of the MEAC title with North Carolina Central, winning the last 4 games of the season. Hey, big shout outs to Larry Scott and his crew up in DC. Number 6 is Alabama State. Now, Alabama State, here you go. If D Davis is going to be your quarterback, how do you utilize him? You bring in, you still got that hard nosed defense, but it's all going to start off with the quarterback. So, number 7 is North Carolina A&T. All right. So, and this is coming out from last season. Last season, North Carolina A&T was pretty much was 2 quarters away, a half away from being Big South champions and actually getting into the playoffs. Second half, Gardner Webb just came out there and destroyed them. Then after the game, it took probably like a couple of weeks afterwards that they fired their head coach. People always say, well, he left gracefully. No, I don't think he left gracefully. I think they let him go. They brought in somebody from actually the conference that they're in right now in the CAA. But I don't see them getting no more than 3 wins in this conference. I don't see getting no more than 3 wins in this conference. Who knows? We don't know yet. So, number 8 is South Carolina State. And we all know South Carolina State, Buddy Pugh is pretty much going to do what Buddy Pugh does. He's going to take homegrown talent, he's going to mold them, and he's going to have them playing hard-nosed defense. The only question is Corey Fields going to progress from what we saw in 21, or is he going to be the same what we saw in 22 and regress even more? We shall see. Season starts August 26th against Jackson State in Atlanta. Number 9 is Morgan State. Now, this one is very interesting with Morgan State because last season, Damon Wilson, who came in over from Bowie State, did not have a full, complete recruiting season, but he has that now. The only question about Morgan State is, do you have a quarterback? Because the quarterback that you bring back, he is pretty much an AARP member. He got a card. He got a card before I got one. So that's how I see it right there. He got a card before I got one. It all depends on who he gets and who starts at quarterback. Is it Carson Baker? Is it Deuce Taylor? Who it is? We don't know. We won't know until the season starts. And number 10. Number 10 is them Panthers from the land of the Alta Vista Plantation, aka Prairie View. Prairie View A&M University coming in number 10, the 2021 SWAC champs in the West. Hey, I'm gonna tell you just like this. You took a back seat last season. You kind of regressed towards the end of the season, especially with losing to Valley for the second year in a row. Losing to Valley for the second year in a row kind of hurt you. That basically knocked you out of SWAC West contention. Plus, getting Texas Southern, Alabama, and Southern to be the last one standing, and we already know Goosehead Dooley was the last one standing in this whole fray, and y'all saw what happened afterwards. I would say that Blue not having Alcorn State in this top 10 is confusing to me, but you got, like you said, you got a 3-8 South Carolina State team in here, and then you got a North Carolina A&T team in here that is going into a whole new conference. Going into a whole new conference. And with a new head coach. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Man, I've been having technical difficulties with this phone, man. I was trying to get in the other night. I couldn't get in.
Oh, man, it's cool because I just had technical difficulties with trying to.
Yeah, I've been having this with my phone, man. I'm not the greatest tech person, I tell you.
It sounds like my grandma.
Yeah, I'm not the greatest tech.
Grandma was still alive. We had her phone, and she was like, "How you work this thing, Granny?"
Yeah, man. I usually get my nieces and nephews. My wife is a tech genius, man. And I'm on the other end of the spectrum. But listen, you hit it on the head. I was in the barbershop today, and everybody's talking about Coach Prime's health condition. He's like a homeboy over here in Atlanta. He made his bones with the Falcons, and a lot of these guys over here, especially that barbershop crew, they were kids, and they watched him perform his magic for the Falcons for many years, man. Mm-hmm. So that was the talk. About his condition. I think you hit it on the head. Yeah. I haven't, I don't want to add to it, but you hit it on the head, basically.
You don't ever want to wish bad on nobody.
Oh, no. Because listen, one thing about we have to say one thing. I've always said we should be pushing all these black children to be doctors because nobody's sicker than the black men in this country, man. We got a lot of issues when it comes to health. If it ain't diabetes, it's heart problems. If it ain't heart problems, it's, other things. So we know about that. We know about the health issues. What he has ran in my family too. He's suffering from blood clots.
Yeah.
And there were a number of my uncles and dad and all of them who did have problems with blood clots. So, Richard Nixon had what they call phlebitis. That was blood clots. And the thing about those blood clots is they can dissolve them, but if you don't dissolve them, the worst thing to happen is that they move towards your heart. Mm-hmm. And you know what that means.
Yeah.
But we know about the blood clots now. That has been an issue for us as ethnicity, Yeah. You said something the other night. I wanted to call in and tell you. You said you were talking about FAMU. Now listen, they did win some national championships under Billy Joe. Right. Now you were correct about it was worse than mediocrity. Okay, Joe Taylor won the MEAC, but he didn't win it outright. He had to share it. And I can't remember. I think it was 3 teams. It was FAM, Bethune, and somebody else shared it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, he really didn't do well at Florida A&M.
Okay.
But they did win a national championship under Billy Joe. I want to say 98. And I know that they went to the semifinals of the Division 1AA, in 99.
Yeah, that was a year right there. With Pat.
Yeah, they lost to Youngstown State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, before we get into the main topic, now I hit up Ronald Hunt earlier, and I asked him just for a little small topic we could talk about. So he came to me, but he texted me. And we was like, so we was talking about on Saturday where Shadeur and with the Black College Hall of Fame.
Right.
So he gave me a name. He named a coach as Rudy Hubbard.
Yeah.
FAMU.
Yeah.
So he said he in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He is in the Black College Football Hall of Fame.
And that's a shame. That's a shame.
Because the figure they said because he had his Ohio State roots.
Yeah, that's who got him in the College Hall of Fame. That was Archie Griffin. See, he was the backfield coach at Ohio State for a number of years, and that crew is very powerful in the College Hall of Fame. Those are Woody Hayes' people.
Right.
And Archie Griffin and those use their influence to get him in there. But it's ridiculous that he's not in the Black College Hall of Fame. That makes no sense.
Yeah, another name that he mentioned to me was Bill Collick.
Yeah, Bill Collick was Delaware State, wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah, I remember him. He came in after. Okay, now Delaware State had a white coach. I want to say, was it Pazarkowitz or something? He was really good. That was, let me see. I'm trying to think. Did Pazarkowitz have Joe Taylor? Not Joe Taylor. What was Taylor's name with Jerry Rice out there at
John Taylor.
John Taylor. I think John played for him. But they ran their signature offense was that wing T, and they ran it with power. That was, I'm trying to think, I was in college or was I out of college? I got to go back and look those years up. But yeah, they were powerful, man. They were powerful. They would get them kids out of the Northeast, like Philly, DC, them kind of kids like that, and they bring them to Delaware State. And they didn't have a whole lot of speed, but they had a lot of tenacity, man. They played hard, and they were very physical. They were very physical, and they would come down here with that wing T, man. Yeah, they kind of ruled for a while now.
And then two names from Jackson State, Jackie Walker.
Oh, yeah, man. I saw Jackie Walker while I was at Grambling. He was actually from Monroe. He was from Monroe, Louisiana. Yeah. He played basketball and football for Jackson. Mm-hmm. He's about 6'5", 6'6", and he was the truth, man. He really, to me, he should have been a first-round draft choice. He was that talented, man. He was awesome, man.
Oh, yeah, because he gave me those names right there, and I was like, oh, hold on now.
Oh, man, that Jackie Walker guy was awesome, man.
You didn't tell me Rudy Hubbard from FAMU ain't in the Black College Hall of Fame.
That's a mistake. I don't know what's going on.
He won the only national championship for HBCU.
Yeah, remember now, 77, he went undefeated. He was the Black College champion. He went 11-0. I think he was the only team in the country that year that was undefeated. Somebody need to check that. 78, he won the 1AA championship.
Right.
He should be. I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on right there. They need to get the matter of fact, I think his defensive coordinator should be. Did they, you know about Fred Goldsmith?
Yeah.
Oh man, he was a Hall of Famer, even though he left us. He did about 4 or 5 years at FAM. He left FAM and either went to Air Force or Arkansas, and eventually became the head coach at Rice, and then he was at Duke. But that guy was a mastermind. That Fred Goldsmith, he was a mastermind, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then the last thing we talked about just now before you got in was the polls. This is from HBCU Game Day. So the stats.
Yeah, I saw that. You know, Southern ain't gonna do nothing. I don't know why they got Southern up there like that. And let me tell you something. They shouldn't have Howard over South Carolina State. So the thing, like you were saying, the quarterback play, but South Carolina State is going to have 2 new coordinators this year. They fired the offense coordinator. They brought in a new guy, and the defense coordinator has taken a job at Wofford. Is it Wofford College?
Yeah.
Wofford College, and so they brought in a guy for the defense coordinator. So they got 2 new coordinators at South Carolina State. But like you said earlier, and I can't put it any better, you don't play down Buddy Pugh, man. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him, and I don't have to say nothing for him. His work speaks for him. He's going to have that program ready. That it might not be ready at the beginning, but because I'm picking y'all to blow them out. Because South Carolina State kind of starts off slow, and I'm picking y'all with all that stuff y'all got. I'm picking y'all to blow them out here in Atlanta. But by the end of the season, if they're still in it, you better watch them Bulldogs.
Right. Now, we about to get into what we gonna get on today, on tonight. So I gotta pull up the video, but I'm just gonna give y'all the audio part of it. I'm not gonna give you the video part. So I was listening to the show. I was like I said, I was listening to Jeff Licey's show the other night.
Yeah, I think I was that the one about fam.
Uh-huh.
I listened to it. That was very entertaining.
And it was entertaining because
it was entertaining.
It was entertaining because I'm like, okay, we got Willie up in here now, and just looking in the chat, I was like, ain't too many people from FAMU up in here, and next thing you know, it gets taken over by Jackson State. It get taken over by us. It's like we don't know how to act when we on there with Jeff Licey, so it's just like going into your own house.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that got everybody was when he said it was self-inflicted. So why not just say we gonna call this the self-inflicted bowl? No, hold on, let me get, because it I was laughing at it. I would want to laugh at it, but then it's like, you know what? I'm gonna let them make it. We gonna let them make it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and, because I don't want to play the video, show the video, but we gonna do the audio on it.
Just kind of to reflect back on the Orange Blossom Classic from 2022. It wasn't the best showing for your team, right? Like we understand that there were issues and things like that. What can you learn? Is there anything that you can learn from a game? Obviously, like that, because obviously you guys went on to win 9 in a row after that. But do you guys ever, now that Orange Blossom Classic, the three-peat, the 3-time going against Jackson State for the 3rd time in a row, are there things that you and your team talk about when it comes to that game in 2022? Or is 2022 is past and you're looking forward to 23? Like, how does that work now that the Orange Blossom Classic 23 is upcoming?
Yeah, well, we said the same thing from the start of last season, and we feel this wholeheartedly, and we feel the same way today. FAMU's biggest opponent is FAMU. We're talented. We're extremely talented.
First of all, I want to shout out Jeff for leading off with that question right there. But when Coach Willie talking about, with Coach Simmons talking about FAMU's biggest opponent is FAMU. So what do you think he mean by that, Mr. Ford?
Well, 2 things. Now, got to remember, when you are trained as a lawyer, you have to learn psychology. Mm-hmm. When you are a football coach, any kind of coach, you got to learn psychology. That whole thing, he's psyching his team out by telling them, you weren't actually beat, you beat yourself. That's psychology. You know that. You know what that's all about. And the other thing is, behind that psychology, you come with motivation. Because I tell people, if you coaching and you can't motivate, you can't coach. And that's the 2 things that he's using right there. It's obvious that he's been around some high-level coaching, because most people don't know that in order to be a great coach, you've got to have some type of psychology plan, and you got to have motivation. Now, them people you were talking about the other night, W.C. Gordon was one of the best. Mm-hmm. Big John Merritt was one of the best with psychology and motivation. Alonzo Heisman. I saw Eddie Robinson cry, and when he would cry, them boys would want to tear up the whole stadium. They were masters at psychology, motivation, manipulation. You understand what I'm saying? But on the end of all of that, it's obvious he has learned from Muhammad Ali by saying all of this right here. Mm-hmm. You selling tickets. See what I'm saying? You selling tickets, because that makes everybody from Mississippi now got to be in Miami, because they got to be there. If Jackson beat them, the first thing they're going to say is what? Self-inflicted. That's what they're going to stand up at about 50,000 people from Mississippi and say, yeah, self-inflicted, right? So, you know what I mean? So it's psychology. It's motivation, it's manipulation, but it's also selling tickets, because everybody gonna want to be there, because they saying now Jackson State got to beat them again so they can ask him again, was that self-inflicted? See, so it's psychology, and when we were growing up, we would hear psychology. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know how powerful psychology was until I went to college.
Right.
I did not know, and how they have weaponized psychology against us as an ethnicity. I didn't learn that stuff until I, went to Clark and went to Grambling and all that. Because we had a class called sports psychology. That's a deep thing. Sports psychology. That's a heavy course.
We're gonna continue on with the
talented. We have a great coaching staff. We have great support from our administration, from our leadership, from our fan base. And so if we can do the things that we need to do, we'll be successful. The game last year was all self-inflicted stuff. I mean, every single thing that happened to us was self-inflicted. This is no disrespect to Jackson. This takes away nothing that they did. I mean, Shadeur Sanders had a phenomenal game. Started, I think, 17-17. Well, even when you look at that, our coverages were off. Guys.
Hold on now. when somebody say no disrespect to somebody else, oh no, you mean to disrespect somebody. You mean that's what my granny used to tell me. My granny, my great grandma used to tell me, when you start out saying, she used to be like, and I'm gonna give everybody my government nickname. She'd be like, Scooter, when you start out saying with no disrespect, that means that you about to disrespect somebody. That means you about to surely disrespect them in the most kindest way possible, without just sounding so, just so evil and ratchet with it. That's how my great grandma and my grandma used to tell me when I was growing up. Like, yeah, you about to disrespect somebody. And so when he said it was self-inflicted, no disrespect. That ain't self-inflicted. Right. That was, you watched that game from the beginning to the end. It was no self-infliction on there.
No.
None whatsoever. No. I'm trying to figure out. I was like, hey, Willie, Coach Willie, I don't know what to tell you though. Your team was not inflicted. The only thing that was inflicted on your team was a 56-point ass whooping that you took in Miami, and you had to go figure out the next week what you was gonna do.
But Doc, now one thing I feel personally with him saying that, I think that game's gonna be a sellout. I really do. I think that game's gonna be a sellout because you got the FAMU people now feeling like we can get them, but you got the Jackson State people saying we got to show them again. And I think that game could possibly be. Now, what does that stadium hold? About 65,000?
About 60,000 now.
Well, I'll go to 50. I feel now they almost got what they got 40,000 last year. What did they get? I think they got 40, right?
You got close to 40,000 last year.
Doc, I can see 55 easily. The only thing is, it's just so hot in Miami. That's why I'm so mad about that time. It's so blazing hot.
That 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. I hate that start because you're in Miami. That's tropical. That's near the equator. People are hot. And last year, remember the kids were falling out.
Yeah.
I just hate that start time. But I can really see 50, 55,000 off of just that.
I know we cool with most people that's in FAMU, but even though he did give examples, yes, he gave examples. Yeah. Like Shadeur starting off 17-17. Pick six, block field goal. Not the block field goal, but it was a block punt. A fumble recovery. No self-infliction on there.
When you look at those teams last year on paper, there was nothing equal about. Y'all were loaded with so many players. And then, he just got some players back. But I'm just saying, man to man, when you look at their roster and you look at FAM's roster and look at Jackson was loaded last year. Jackson was loaded with players from top to bottom. Yeah. They really were.
But I don't. But people said, "Well, we had a stacked team." I don't think we had a stacked team. Sure, I just think
you don't.
I don't even think we had a stacked team. I just thought we was
Come on, dog. That team was loaded last year. That team was loaded. Don't listen. I know somebody gonna put in the chat about why they didn't win the Celebration Bowl. You know, we can go into that and all that. But listen, you know now, Doc, I'm a talent person. I look at individual. That team was loaded last year. There was a lot of talent on that team last year.
True.
It was a lot of talent.
What I'm saying is people say that we out talented the swag, but
I think you did. And matter of fact, not just last year, even that year that we are very critical of his first year. I mean, the year that they won the first SWAC championship, that team had a lot of talent.
Right.
You know, one thing we got to give him credit. Now, he did bring in some kids. Because like I tell everybody now, that transfer portal was good to Jackson State now. That transfer portal was good to y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and
now,
that's why I like it.
Let's see. Let me finish up. We're going to see what really said.
Okay.
In the right places. We weren't rerouting receivers. We were leaving guys uncovered. We were missing tackles. I mean, you name it, we did it. We turned the ball over 4 or 5 times. Every unconventional way to score, they did. Blocked the punt for a touchdown, picked up a fumble for a touchdown, got a pick 6 for a touchdown. So that's 3 touchdowns in unconventional ways that typically don't happen in a football game. You know, we just did silly stuff the entire day. It was the Murphy. I call it the Murphy's Law game. Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and so and it was from the very beginning, right? And
now, I would rather for him to say the Murphy's Law game instead of him saying we were self-inflicted. Now, Murphy's Law game is much better because like you said, everything that went wrong did go wrong. That should have been what he kind of started. It should have been what he should have started off with instead of saying it being self-inflicted. Because I didn't see, like I said, I didn't see no self-infliction on the team. Well,
I'm gonna say this. I thought that was one of the best games for Shadeur in his 2-year career at FAMU. I thought he came out in that game looking like a pro. I think at one point, didn't he go 17 for 17? What did he go?
Yeah, he went 17 for 17.
I thought he looked like a pro, man. I thought he looked like a Heisman Trophy candidate. And that ain't got nothing to do with no self-inflicted. That was him being in a zone. I just thought that was one of his better games as a Jackson State player.
He was 27 to 31, 323 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
The next day he was featured on Good Morning America. They featured him for what he had done.
And the crazy thing about it was he had more touchdowns than he had incompletions.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was one of his best games.
That's called efficiency right there.
Yeah.
That is called that game right there was pretty much, I think, that game and also the Texas Southern game were 2 of the best called games for Shadeur last season.
Now, don't forget now, Doc, I know some people going to raise saying about it, but I thought Shadeur had a great game in that Celebration Bowl. I thought he had a great game.
By far, that was one of his greatest games.
Yeah, that Celebration Bowl. He was on.
It was the fact that I think egos got in the way.
And the defensive line was depleted.
Right. That's it. That's how I gotta say it. Egos got in the way and the defensive line was depleted.
Now I'll tell you it doesn't measure with the FAMU game, which I thought he was just exemplary in that FAMU game. I thought he had a great game in that Boombox Classic. In that game, the first time that Southern came to Jackson last year, I thought he showed dual threat capability, something I didn't really give. I saw him as a pro style passer throwing the ball, but in the Southern game, he demonstrated that he could run.
Right.
But I thought that was another good one.
Really, he kind of demonstrated he could run in the third game.
Was that Grambling?
Right, because he did run for a score in that game right there.
Right.
The Tennessee State game, they really bottled him in because
Yeah.
Defense was. I give it to Eddie George. That defense was ferocious.
Oh, it was. That defense was tough. I remember that game.
And it's kind of crazy because I'm glad Jackson State not playing Tennessee State for this season because because what Eddie George got back on that defense and what he added to that defense is scary.
Now let me say this, Doc. I'm hoping that series will continue. That's one of the biggest games in black college football year in and year out. Tennessee State and Jackson have got to start that series up. We can't go with them not playing.
I think we'll start it back up. I think
we got to get that back going.
Yeah, but I would say, like I said, I would say this. As far as for this season, no, I do not want to see them boys up there from Nashville. No, I don't. No. What Blue had told me on the side, no, Eddie George brought back to his team. No, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see that man on. I don't want to see that man's defense.
Yeah, the defense was really good last year. I thought the defense was tough. But now I'm gonna tell you something. I haven't got over the fact that you let little old Lane College come to Nashville from the SIAC Division II and beat you on your campus in front of your students. I haven't gotten over that yet. So they got to make up with me now.
Yeah, I mean, his job is on the line, but I don't think his job is really on the line like that. Him and Dr. Glover.
I was about to say, your teacher ain't going to let nothing happen to him. That lady loves Eddie George. As long as she's there, he's all right.
Yeah, Dr. Glover and Dr. Allen, Mikey Allen with the ED. Nah, they ain't going to let, because they got it. The contract is too much, especially if you fire him, because you're going to have to pay that man.
And you know that the whole idea of him coaching Tennessee State came out of her mind, because she actually went to his wife before she talked to him. Listen, long as Dr. Glover's there, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere.
Tennessee State for a long time, too.
I
remember when she was at Jackson, man. I loved that. Like, when she was at Jackson, she was cool.
Yeah, that's what I said. As long as she's there, he's not going anywhere.
Let me go ahead and finish out with Willie.
And so for us, we look back and reflect and say, hey, we didn't give ourselves a chance to win the game. And even as coaches, that started with us, and even in our preparation. When we got to Miami, the things we did down in Miami Gardens, all of those things we've had to reevaluate, and we're going to do those things differently this year. And so with our team, we understand that the focus has to be on doing the little things right. That second F in our program is fundamentals. And so those are habits. Those are the little things that it takes to be successful. And so we got to really, really focus on that, because the talent is there. And if we do that, we feel like there's not a team on our schedule that can beat us toe to toe if we do those little things right. And so that's the takeaway from last year's game. That's the takeaway from North Carolina as well. It was the same thing. It was self-inflicted wounds that started, in the summertime and transitioned into, the certification process. Some were in our control, some weren't. But we got to control the things that are in our control. And that's our focus and our preparation. So, again, the game happened. You can't deny it. Jackson State fans get to brag on it until the cows come home. Until we line up and play in September, they get to brag about, beating us 59-3 last year. It was an embarrassing loss. We're one of the most embarrassing losses of my coaching career as a coach and a player. And but the good thing is, God willing, we get a chance to right that wrong, this year in Miami Gardens. And this is a brand new football team. They have a brand new football team. And I don't think anything that happened last year will have any bearings on what happens in this year's edition.
Well, I'm going to say it just like this. I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to say it like this. When it comes down to it, you start off, like you said, you start off in the summertime. You start off with what you do in the summertime. You get rid of all of your old habits. You get rid of all those bad habits in the summertime. Did they do that? I don't know. Were they not disciplined enough in the first game when they played in North Carolina? I think they were disciplined because they was running on adrenaline. Plus, they didn't have enough people to go out there. You losing, you down like close to 30 people, 30 players, that gives you that makes you think like, hey, I don't know, but that second game you should clean, like the second game definitely should have been cleaned up before the second game, and then the game probably would have been a little bit more competitive if if it was the bad habits that you had. But like I said, don't think you should have said this is all self-inflicted. I think you should have started off with this is Murphy's Law, where everything that did go wrong did go wrong, everything that will go wrong did go wrong. And that's what happened. Everything that will go wrong did go wrong. So let's see, Mr. Ford, get back on here. Mr. Ford, can you hear me? Okay. Get back on here. But that's what I'm saying. Like having the players that was not certified at that time, it kind of sucked because I thought it was going to be an even matchup. But when it comes down to it, all right, Mr. Ford, you back?
Yeah. Am I on twice? Take me off.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All
right, you good.
Okay.
But what he said though was like, I was saying, like, from the first game, when you found out, your bad habits should be null and void. Not null and void. Your bad habits should be broken during the summertime.
Well, now, Doc, one of the things he's doing, he's trying to keep that last year's game as far as his players, because they were physically abused. He don't want them to go into the game thinking about that. Like you remember how Steve Spurrier used to beat up on George all the time?
Oh yeah,
he was in their head mentally. They didn't, they were actually beat before the game because Steve Spurrier was in their head. He's trying to keep Jackson from having, like we said earlier, a psychological advantage of the fact that we beat y'all to death last year, and so he don't want them to be lingering with that. That's why he's making all them excuses. Because, like I said, and I'm gonna say it again, even on paper, there was nothing equal about Jackson State and FAM last year. Jackson State was loaded at every position. They would, like they said, they was 50 points better. And I know people gonna say, well, why they didn't win the Celebration Bowl? Like I said, basically, Deion blew up the program after that Southern game.
Yeah.
And he caused all them kids to run and stampede into that transfer portal.
Egos got it.
Yeah. But no, there was nothing equal about them two teams. Nothing.
Israel, you crazy. He said, so you tell him FAMU, basically what you said with FAMU got PTSD.
Yeah, and he's trying to prevent that from having effect this year. He doesn't want that whooping to continue. And like I said, that's psychology, okay? So what he's doing is he's putting the blame somewhere else. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. See what I'm saying? Which is, to be honest with you, that's brilliant. He's smart.
If it's a smart way to say it,
yeah, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
The way I see it, like I said, the way I see it is, like I said, the stuff that you thought was gonna go wrong, it actually happened. That's why I said he should have led off with that instead of saying it was self-inflicted. But like you said, it was more on being, it was the psychological part.
Right. That's right. That's right. There you go.
But then too, it's a I think it's a marketing standpoint too.
Yeah. It's gonna sell more tickets. It's gonna sell more tickets. You got the FAMU people gonna say, well, it's a whole new ball game. Last year don't matter. You got the Jackson State people gonna come because they're gonna say we're gonna beat y'all again. And we gotta be there to witness it. So that's why I'm saying if they had 40 last year, I look for 50 this year. 50, 55.
We shall see. That's a lot of traveling right there because we're gonna be in Atlanta. We're gonna be in Atlanta, then
y'all gotta listen, y'all. That's a FBS type schedule right there, man.
Go to Miami,
yeah,
Baton Rouge,
yeah,
go to San Marcos.
Yeah, man. Y'all like remember O.J. Simpson was flying into the map. Remember that Hertz commercial?
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be Jackson State, baby.
Running with the suitcase.
That's right. Yeah. What is that? Go OJ, go. Go Jackson, go.
See, I don't know. That's what I like that schedule. I mean, that first 4 games.
That's a big time schedule.
The travel,
yeah,
pretty much is what's going to take a toll.
And all of them are nationally televised, right?
Except for the other 2 games is not nationally televised.
I thought they were ESPN Plus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hey,
don't get me wrong. There's a ton of traveling.
It is. It's like FPS. It's big time.
Not only do we go, those are the first 4 games, y'all. Then we go to Mobile to play Alabama A&M again. We go to Valley ain't nothing but down the street to us.
Right.
We go to Pine Bluff this year. Like, I mean, we're like literally on the road for this whole year.
You know what? Pine Bluff should have taken y'all to Little Rock.
Oh, that would be.
They should have took you. Yeah, they should have took y'all to Little Rock. Because Little Rock is the largest city in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, it's Central Arkansas.
Yeah, they should have took y'all to Little Rock.
Blue, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you that I said it's the 4 toughest games of the season to start off. But I wouldn't change that schedule for anything because that tests our barometer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It tests the barometer and it basically tells us like what the program is all about. Now, if we can start off 2-0, if you can start off if we can start off 3-0, because like I said, Southern don't know who their QB is. They have not given nobody any type of, bulletin board material to figure out who your gunslinger is.
Don't forget, and Dooley's mediocre. Don't forget that. Dooley's mediocre. Now he can dress. He can wear them ballet shoes and that ascot. But listen, he was 20-17 at Prairie View. Isn't that mediocre?
Yeah, I want to say mediocre, but
now to me, he's a championship offense coordinator, but he don't show me nothing as no head coach.
Yeah, I realize I'm gonna tell you like this: when Willie was the head coach at Prairie View, when you started out, Willie was 21-17 at Prairie View.
He didn't have no defense though. Now, Doc, I remember. I watched them. He didn't have no defense.
He was 8-2 his first year.
Yeah, I remember.
And then he went from 8-2 to 7-4 from 7-4 to 6-5.
What was that guy's name? He was defense coordinator. He couldn't stop nobody. He was the guy from Marshall. He brought him from Alcorn with him. Yeah, he took him to FAMU, but he's left. I think he went back to Marshall. That guy couldn't stop nobody.
I was talking about that. I was looking at that because Willie was 21-17
Yeah, I remember. Remember the year they played out there in Dallas and they had that shootout that ended up being with 50 something to 49 or something.
Yeah.
That's Kadarius Hodge now.
Mm-hmm.
I told you his defense couldn't stop nobody.
Let's see. Look at this.
Oh, and by the way, the guy from Alcorn, is it Chris Blair?
Yeah.
He's with the Falcons. He's in the Falcons camp.
Yep.
So I got to keep an eye on him. I hope he makes it.
It was Ralph Street.
Yeah, that's right. Ralph Street couldn't stop nobody. Man, listen, it helped Fam when he left. He left Fam and went back to Marshall. Couldn't stop nobody. I think he was from Orlando or Tampa or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Ralph Street, you're right. He was on Jay Hobson's staff. He was on that staff under Jay Hobson.
You asked me where is Malachi Wideman? I do not know. I think he's in the portal. I haven't heard anything about Malachi Wideman. I'm just letting you know. Let me read these comments up here. Jay White says Alabama ain't going 4-1 to start the season.
Who is the 4 or who's the 5?
Who's the 5 teams that y'all going that you say 4 out of 5 teams that you're gonna beat?
I thought they got to go play Vanderbilt.
I think they do. I think that would be the only loss that they have right there.
Who they got second?
Let me see. Say got Lane, Southern, Pine Bluff.
You done call out 2 of them. I can. You said Lane College?
Yeah.
They should beat Lane. Now, it's going to be rough down. Now they got to go to Mumford Stadium.
Yeah, they got to go to Mumford.
That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough because some people going to make Southern play. Okay, who's the other team you called out?
The other team I called out was Lane, Southern, Pine Bluff.
They can beat Pine Bluff.
And Tuskegee. I think, yeah.
That's right. Tuskegee's coming to them for their homecoming. Well, he better win that. He better not let Tuskegee beat them in that's in Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he better win that. Now, listen, I want to say this to the guy that asked you that question or said that about 4-1. Alabama A&M has the quarterback from Georgia State. That guy can play. He's from Birmingham. He's about 6'5", can throw it.
So it said, first game is Vanderbilt. Then
that's a loss.
Lane College.
Win.
Southern.
Toss up.
Pine Bluff.
Win.
Tuskegee.
Win. So that's what, 3 win?
Yeah, and then if we add Southern, it'd be 4.
It's going to be rough on them on Southern now. Because that's in Mumford. That's going to be rough down there.
Then they got, then they play Jackson State.
Loss.
Grambling. In the hole.
I can't. I toss up.
They got Grambling in the hole.
And at Grambling?
At Grambling.
Okay, hopefully that'll be the advantage.
Bama State.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. That's the Magic City.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be rough. Wait a minute. Bama State beat them last year, right?
Yeah.
And I think Bama State's gonna be better.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be better.
Bama State gonna beat them again. FAMU.
Hey, did you say Blue is on here?
Yeah, Blue was.
Hey, Blue, I enjoyed your interview with Bubba. What's Bubba's name, Doc?
For Bama State?
Uh-huh.
Bubba Adams?
Yeah, he did an interview with him. It was great. I listened to it. I like Bubba. I'm a fan of Bubba's. Colton. Is it Colton?
Yeah, Colton Adams.
Uh-huh. I'm a fan of his. I like the tenacity. I like how he diagnoses. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he's more like
And he's physical.
he's physical. Like that's a big boy right there.
Yeah, and he comes with an attitude. He reminds me of them old linebackers. When he get there, he's hostile.
That's the one that you want though.
Yeah, man. He strikes a lick. They used to call it striking a lick.
Mm-hmm.
He strike a lick. Yeah, Blue, I enjoyed your interview with him.
FAMU.
Wait a minute.
In Huntsville.
That's gonna be a good. Listen, now I'm gonna tell you something. Will is a road warrior now. It's just like I keep telling people now. He got a problem with Jackson State, but that's all. I'm gonna be honest with you now. Can't nobody beat him but Jackson State.
And they in Daytona against Bethune-Cookman.
Ooh. Now, what are you hearing about this? They saying he got 40 players. Did you hear that?
Yeah, we talked about that the other day, last time.
So you hearing any big name play? I mean, are they division? Are they FBS boys? Or where these guys coming from?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard like the actual players where they came from, but I did hear that they got a lot of players on the team, new players on the team.
So he's following the Coach Prime agenda, huh?
Well, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, they said he got 40 new players.
No, he's probably getting some. He's probably getting some motivation from.
Yeah. What about what anybody say anything about what Blue and them got to say about his staff? Anybody know those guys on his staff?
Other than Nick Collins.
Oh, I know Nick Collins. That's the Green Bay Packers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Nick Collins. Yeah.
They might lose. I'm gonna say might lose the Valley at the end of the game, end of the season too.
Who is that?
Alabama A&M.
Yeah. Now if he lose the Valley, he gonna be on that hot seat, man. He gonna be on that hot seat, man. He
lost to him last season.
Huh?
Lost to him last season in Valley.
And so they have to go to Huntsville?
Got to go to Huntsville.
Okay. Well, we're going to keep our eyes on Valley. They got new coach, some new players, right?
Yeah.
New players, exciting AD, and we got to see what Valley's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching Valley.
I would say this, though. Valley would not be the doormat of the SWAC East this year.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see.
I would say that. I would say that, okay, you writing it down? Write it down.
Oh, yeah.
But I would say this: the Valley won't be the doormat of the SWAC.
And you was asking that question about the quarterback at Southern. Now I'm hearing number one right now is Blood, right? The Blood kid.
From what I'm hearing, yeah.
Yeah. Now listen, Southern picked up a kid from here in Atlanta. He's from Woodward Academy. We know that kid. That kid. Now I don't know if he's gonna start this year. But now you're going to like him, very heady, athlete, about 6'2", 6'3", and got a rifle. But he's a smart kid. He was at this private school here called Woodward Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw him. I saw him. Oh, yeah. I think the Southern people are going to like him.
You know what I didn't like, though, when last season, beginning of the year, 21, when Shadeur's get ready to start his first college game. People were saying that, well, Shadeur played in the private school league, and I'm going to tell you just like this. I'm going to tell y'all just like this. The private school league here in Texas is just as tough.
Right. Same way here in Atlanta. Yeah.
Here is in Texas.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're right. That's how it is in Atlanta, too. I mean, in Georgia. Like,
literally, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
I could call the private school. I could call TAPS. It's called, that's the governing body for the private schools.
Right.
Call that association soft.
Yeah.
Seeing plenty of kids come from that private school league. Ty Montgomery, Ty Montgomery?
Yeah. That's the one went to Stanford?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Big guy.
Yeah, he came out of private school league.
Yeah, I remember him.
The Acho brothers, Sam and
Yeah, that's right. I remember them. One was with Fox, right?
yeah, they came out of St. Mark's. That's a private school.
Right.
And if you talk about, I'm like, even in basketball, Julius Randle came from Prestonwood Christian. That's a private school. They deep with in that ranks. Isaiah Austin, before he had his heart condition,
Right.
the one that went to Baylor, he was at Arlington at Grace Prep. Like
right.
That you can't tell me anything. And that's the reason why I say where people was talking about, yeah, he played in the sorry private school league, but it ain't sorry when this boy got 14,000 yards.
Well, it's the same way here in Atlanta. We have Maris, that's a Catholic school powerhouse. We have St. Pius, another Catholic school powerhouse. We have the one I just told you about, Woodward Academy. Mm-hmm. We have one up in Gwinnett called Wesleyan. They're real good. Yeah, there's no drop off in Georgia with them private schools now.
Yeah,
because they recruit players.
That's why I said, I don't, I can't let y'all get away with that.
Yeah.
I know what I see, and when I see, my South Oak Cliff played Parish Episcopal. It's a little private school. It's right off of Alpha in Marsh, North Dallas, closer to the Galleria where I work at.
Hey, Ty, it's North. You're right. It's not Atlanta, but it's Norfolk. I meant Metro Atlanta. I'm sorry, Ty. You said Maris ain't Atlanta, but I'm saying in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm sorry for not clarifying that.
But South Oak Cliff, they had a gauntlet of a schedule. They started their season out playing against Duncanville, then they went to DeSoto, then they played Lancaster, and then they played Parish. Parish gave them a run for their money. Even though they came out with a 3-point win in that game, Parish gave them a run for their money. And they still won. Both of them still won state. Parish won its 4th title. Them boys went 4 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, get away with that. There's nothing that you can get away with. But, I just had to put that out there. But I also had to put out there too that self-infliction. Now you can't put self-inflicted, but Lord Timona, soul singing and flower bringing this year. Oh Lord, she said it's gonna be a funeral. It was my uncle used to tell somebody like, yeah, when they get them mad, tell your mama to call your mama to tell her to get that black dress ready.
Hey, now, Doc, try again. You right. Now, what's FAMU's winning streak at Bragg so far? What's the number now?
15-0.
Right. So they haven't lost a game since when? 2018 or 2019?
2019.
2019.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day with Zoe. Like they ain't lost in 3 years, 3-4 years. So I give them that.
They kind of hard to beat in Bragg.
I give them that. But I know we get ready to shut this thing down. Everybody head over to Ken Clark at 9:00. But I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I might do something tomorrow. I might not. I don't know. But if I don't do anything tomorrow, I want to tell all the fathers that's here, Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. Ditto.
I want to tell all the fathers here, Happy Father's Day. And I want to tell all, I want to give a shout out to my uncle, Floyd Lee Smith, who was like I said, he was my legal guardian from my 7th grade year all the way until my sophomore year at Jackson State. And that was my father figure right there. After my father passed away when I was only 9 years old. So I just want to put that out there for because he done a whole bunch of stuff for me, and he still do, even though I'm in my early 40s, and he just turned 59 this past week. And always give my thoughts and prayers to my father, late David Earl Douglas, and my stepfather, Calvin Edward Smith.
Right.
Without them, I wouldn't be, with my biological father, I wouldn't be here. Without my stepfather, I wouldn't know what the game was and the hustle was.
Right.
I give that. I give them the case. Let me see. Y'all got anyone going to that? I don't know who's going to the XFL showcase. They haven't said too much anything about that. I haven't heard anybody going, but that's would be one thing I would talk about, and I might do that on Monday. That's Juneteenth, but it all depends. But if I'm not here on Saturday, we're not here on tomorrow. But like I said, I just want to tell everybody a happy Father's Day, and we here from the HBCU OverDrive family, we love you guys. We love everybody. That's all fathers, uncles, brothers, don't matter. We love you. We love everybody. And we'll be back on here. Hopefully, if it's not tomorrow, we'll be back on here Monday. Because I will be going to East Texas on Sunday to go visit my father's grave.
Right.
And then I get to have my twin with me, my youngest daughter. So she'll be hopefully with us to have fun with her daddy.
So now East Texas, is that close to Shreveport?
Well, my father's buried in Kilgore, so that's closer to Shreveport. It's like 15 minutes from Shreveport.
Okay, yeah. I remember when I was at Grambling, we would go to Shreveport a lot. Yeah. That's 20, right? Isn't that 20 west? 20 west?
20. Oh no, east.
20. Okay. All right. Yeah.
But yeah. I'll be going up there to go. If I need to clean out the grave, clean the grave off, and talk to him for a little bit, and then roll out back to Dallas.
Oh yeah.
But it's 9:00 now. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to Ken Clark so we get that good word. Let them know about that blue magic, baby. I'll talk to you later on, Mr. Ford.
Okay, have a great weekend here.
I see my boy Stephen Gaither up in here, man. I see you up in here, Stephen. I had to break down your little poll, but I said I had to do what I had to do. But again, y'all have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the real fathers out there, to all the true fathers out there. We love you. It was fun tonight. And just let you know, no self-infliction over here. No self-infliction over here. As always, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe and y'all stay dangerous. We out of this thing. Peace.